Hello, nice to meet you. Welcome to our class, General English Advanced Class, Unit 1, Introducing Ourselves. This unit has two learning objectives. Number one, after you finish learning in this unit, you are expected to be able to introduce yourself to others in your real life communication. The second one, you are also expected to be able to use A to B in communications correctly. Before we discuss the material for this unit, I'd like to remind you that you have to actively participate in the discussion forum that is now available in your Learn. There are two questions to be discussed there. The first one, when do we need to introduce ourselves to others? And the second one, please list down at least two do's and two don'ts in introducing ourselves. What is allowed and what is not allowed in introducing ourselves? Well, now let's discuss the process of introducing ourselves. It begins with greeting. After you finish delivering your greeting, you can start to introduce yourself to others. And then you need to respond to an introduction given by the person you are talking to. After that, please give small talk in the conversation. Finally, if you think that you need to end the conversation, please end the conversation nicely. This is the process of how we introduce ourselves to others. We would like to discuss one by one in the next slides. Greeting is very important when you would like to introduce yourself to others. To greet your new friend, you can say, hello, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on the context of the conversation. I believe that you have mastered this topic very well. After you finish greeting your friend, you can start to introduce yourself. You can say your name, your profession, your company, your city or the country you are coming from. And then you can say, pleased to meet you, happy to meet you, nice to meet you to your new friend. I would like to give you an example so can you have a better picture of this topic. Hello, good morning. I am Alberto da Silva. I am a pilot at Mega Air in Rome, Italy. Pleased to meet you. In the process of introduction, sometimes you need to respond to an introduction. In order to do that, you need to address the person with the title of respect. For example, Mr. followed by the last name, man, madam, or miss. You can also say that you are happy to meet him or her by saying, pleased to meet you, happy to meet you. And finally, you start introducing yourself. Name, job, company, or city. I would like to give you one example. Hello, Mr. Da Silva. Pleased to meet you too. I am William Tambunan. I am a nurse at Siloam Hospital, Lipo Village, Indonesia. After you introduce yourself, you usually continue with small talk or informal talk to get to know each other better. This small talk is very important in a process of introduction because sometimes you need to build good relationship with the person you have just known. However, you need to be really careful in choosing the topics for the small talk. You can talk about the job. For example, you can say, how long have you become a nurse? How long have you been in healthcare business? How long have you been working for Siloam Hospital? You can also talk about the place of origin. For example, oh, I see, you're from Nairobi. Where is it? Is it a big city? What is the most popular food there? Or you can have other topics. For example, you can talk about the place you are in at the time of speaking. Just pretend that now you are in a conference. You can ask your new friend, when did you arrive here? What places have you visited here? Or you can talk about the event you attended together. Is this your first time attending this conference? What do you think about the presenter of the seminar? Finally, you need to end a conversation nicely. You can say, nice talking to you, or nice talking to you too. I have to go now. See you again soon. Or simply say, okay, bye. In this slide, you can see a model dialogue of introducing ourselves. I would like to invite you to play a role play with me. I will play as Johnson, and please you play as Harrison. Let's start. Good afternoon. I am Brian Johnson. I am an accountant for Johnson & Johnson. Pleased to meet you too. Just call me Brian. Oh, I see. You are working in insurance business. How long have you been working there? Just 3 years. I come from England, UK, but I'm now working in Singapore. And what about you? Where do you come from? New York? It's a big city. Oh, anyway, the conference will start again. I think we have to go back to the conference room. Nice talking to you too, Barbara. Bye. There are several things to ponder when we would like to greet somebody else. As you can see in the picture, there are several ways of greeting. We, as a good learner, we have to be aware of these differences so that we can greet somebody else properly. Furthermore, we need to be aware of sensitive topics as well. We should not ask sensitive topics to the persons that we have just known. For example, age, religion, marital status, and also salary. Perhaps you can find other sensitive topics by yourself. I believe that you have known how to introduce yourself to others. Now let us move to the grammar focus of this unit. The grammar focus of this unit will be about to be, how we use to be in the context of communication. First of all, you need to know the types of to be used in different contexts. If the context is in the present condition, you can use is, am, or are. If the context is in the past, you can use either was or were. And I believe you have known these types of to be very well. To be able to use to be correctly in a sentence, you need to be able to analyze the subject of the sentence, because the subject of the sentence determines the type of to be that you need to use. For example, if the subject is I and the time is present, you must use am as the to be. For example, I am sad now. But if the time is past, you need to use was instead. For example, I was happy yesterday. This rule applies for the other subject. He, she, it. You can use is or was. They, we, you can use are or were. It depends on the subjects and also the time of the conversations. Well, the next thing that we need to discuss is when we use to be in a sentence. Again, you need to be able to analyze the subject of the sentence. The to be is used when the subject is followed by number one, adjective or kata sifat. For example, I am hungry now. He was happy yesterday. Hungry and happy are considered as adjective. That's why to be is needed in this sentence. Number two, if the subject is followed by a noun or kata benda. For example, this is a table, or they are animals. Table and animals are considered as noun. That's why to be is needed in here. Number three, if the subject is followed by adverb or kata keterangan. For example, I am at home. My mother was not there. At home and there are considered as adverb. That's why to be is needed in this sentence. Once again, we use to be if the subject of the sentence is followed by adjective, noun, and adverb. If you haven't known what is adjective, noun, and adverb, I suggest you to have a self-study to understand more about them. As we can see in the previous slide, to be is not used when the subject is followed by a verb or kata kerja. Once again, to be is not used when the subject is followed by a verb or kata kerja. Sometimes I find this common mistake produced by my students. They say, I am read the book, she is cook the food, the children are play badminton every day. Read, cook, and also play are considered as verb. That's why to be in these sentences should not be used. You simply say, I read the book. She cooks the food. The children play badminton every day. So once again, if the subject is followed by a verb, you should not have a to be. However, there are some cases when we are allowed to use to be if the subject is followed by a verb. The first case is if the sentence shows the present continuous condition. For example, I am studying English now. They were sleeping when I came last night. If you can see, studying and sleeping are considered as a verb. Because this sentence shows about the activity happening right now, am and were are allowed to be used in this sentence. Present continuous tense. The second case is related to passive voice, kalimat-kalimat pasif. For example, the food was cooked by my mom. The man is hospitalized in that hospital. Cook and also hospitalized are considered as verb. However, to be, was and is in here are fine to be used because the sentences show passive voice. So once again, to be can be used if the subject is followed by a verb, if the sentence shows present continuous condition and passive voice. Finally, this is the last slide of this video. From this video, we have discussed how to introduce ourselves to others, how to respond to the introduction given by our new friend, and we also discussed the grammar focus of this unit, which is the use of to be. Hopefully, after you finish watching this video, you can have more practice, and practice to develop your language ability. We will see you again in the next videos. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless you all.